tonight. Oh my goodness, I feel like a celebrity is watching us. If you are not yet following Students of On Mission Memes, you must. It is so funny. It's worth the time even now to hop out of here and go ahead and hop onto something else. What's up, Lindsay? Good to see you. Hey, Madison, David Bathauer, great to see you. What's up, Riley? You know, it's so weird. I still say great to see you, even though you guys can't, I can't see you. Only you can see me. Maybe we'll change that later tonight. I'll see if a couple of you want to go live with me. So put up in the comments, if you're just joining us, what has been the best thing that's happened to you this week? What's up, Matthew? Matthew, throw up in the comments what's been the best thing that's happened to you this week. Hello, Carrie. So another thing that I'd love for you to put up in the comments is, have you guys ever gone to the beach or gone on a hike or done something like that and then put sunscreen all over, right? Where man, I mean on your ears, on your face, on your nose, on your arms, everywhere. But then only later did you realize that you forgot one part of you. That was my experience today. Matthew, he said that the highlight of his week is he found his scooter in the Willet. Matthew, where was it? Because yesterday at middle school group at On Mission, you were in the Willet looking for your scooter. Jasmine sang a beautiful cheeseburger song. Yes, some of our middle school students made a cheeseburger song together. It was one of the best things I've seen all week. Students of On Mission Meme says Levi's High was definitely their favorite part of this week. Exactly. It was still under the stage, dude. That is crazy. I love it. Oh, Matt, that's funny. Yeah, so if you're wondering what is Students of On Mission Memes talking about, man, you got to follow their page in order to find out. It is quality meme content. I am telling you, it is worth checking out. It is so good. And if you're wondering, what's up, Macy? If you're wondering, well, still, what are they talking about? On Sunday, I preached, and I had my son Levi up on stage with me for the beginning to read. We miss you too, Macy. To read the Bible verse with me. And I said, hey, Levi, say hi. And he was quiet, has a microphone, and he goes, hi! All goofy at once. So, of course, Students of On Mission Memes have grabbed that photo, and they have made a meme of it. And, man, is it good. So, going back to the sunscreen thing, if any of you guys have ever gotten one part of your body burnt on accident, you know it's a terrible feeling. Today, I went up to Carpinteria to take my kids to the beach, and I put sunscreen everywhere. On my face, I know it's hard to tell. I put it on my arms. I put it on my neck. I had London put it on my back. And guess where I forgot to put sunscreen? On my stomach. And guess how I hung out most of the day? Like this, on my back, watching my kids play. So my stomach is so sunburn. I don't know if you've ever had a sunburn, but man, it is a weird, horrible feeling. It's like your clothes are crawling all over your body. Things like this, I wonder, right? I'm sunburnt. When Jesus walked around on the earth, did Jesus get sunburnt? Right? You got to think about that type of stuff. Man, did Jesus get sunburnt? I would say, yes, he got sunburnt. What do you guys think? Put it up in the comments. Could Jesus get sunburnt? I know, weird, interesting, but could Jesus get sunburnt? It's stuff like this you have to think about. And if you want to know, more about the life of Jesus, then the best way you can do that right now, through our youth group at least, is to go ahead and join with us in studying the Gospel of John. How do you do this? Super simple. Download the Bible app on any platform, iPhone, Android, iPad, and then go ahead and follow. Hey, Rachel. Go ahead and follow the Hold Fast page. Super simple to do. There's a study there through the book of John. Guess what? We're only on day 2. So you only have 2 chapters to keep up on. Yeah, Jesus would approve, the baby goat says. What's up, Jack? Super easy to do, man. It maybe will take you 10 minutes a day to read through one chapter of Jesus' life told by John. It is fantastic, though. So every week, we're just going to be preaching on the chapter. We're going to be talking about the chapter that we're supposed to be reading that day. Couldn't get any easier. You almost get a cheat day on Wednesdays. Jack, what are you up to, Jack? Let's see if we can go live. Jack, I want to hear about work. You've officially been there, I don't know, a week and a half. How's it been?
What's up, dog? How's it going?
Great to see you, my friend.
Likewise.
How's work?
Good. It's picking up business, which is really nice because they were predicting if we stayed slow, our hours were going to be cut. But with business picking up, they're predicting we're going to stay the same, which is good.
Tell everybody where you work.
Starbucks downtown Ventura.
Yeah. So if somebody wanted to see you, they could order on the app, I'm assuming?
Yes, order on the app. We are also doing order in the store now. So you can't go into the store, but if you walk up, don't have the app, we will take your order.
Dang, man. So if we wanted to see you, there's a possibility if we got thirsty and we were downtown, we could see you at Starbucks.
Exactly. If you stood on Chestnut, you can look into the store. I will wave from you from inside the store at a safe distance.
That's so sad, dude. It's like the meme of Jim from The Office looking through the blinds, dude.
For real.
It's so good. I love it. Yeah, dude. All right, bro, tell me this. Tonight we're going to be talking about Jesus at a wedding, so I thought it'd be funny to have some people on and to hear, where is your dream wedding destination? Money is no object. God is your sugar daddy, and you can get married anywhere in the world. Where are you going?
Dude, probably Iceland. Like in one of those, I don't know why. Like Iceland's like, because it's like, for me, it's like that hardcore like fire and ice, because like it's super hot because the volcanoes, but it's like also icy cold. And so like, I want, like snow, but I also want there to be a volcano in the background. Like
erupting as you get married?
Exactly. I want Armageddon to start as soon as I get married.
That's so good, dude. Carrie saying dream wedding, Laughlin house. Yeah, Carrie, is your daughter getting married at your house now? I'm curious to hear about that. Jack, that's so funny, dude. I feel like in my mind I was like, I'm just gonna get Hawaii as an answer like 5 times, dude. First, Iceland is a total just, I don't even know, man. Yeah, the baby goat's saying Hawaii. June 6th. Look at that. Carrie's daughter's getting married at her house June 6th, Jack.
That's dedication. I'm all about it.
Hey, I got married at my in-laws' house too, dude, and it was not as bad as you would think it is.
Well, I just love the fact that people are still having weddings during the COVID. Like, they're not allowing anything to stop them from, like, committing their lives to each other, dude. It's just so beautiful. I love it.
I know, man. Me too. I think it's super cool. I love it, bro. Hey, thanks for getting married in Iceland. I hope I get an invitation.
That's dope.
I'll see you soon, bro. Adios. Oh, so good. So, where do you want to get married, man? That is the question. All right, let's see. Matthew Lynn, if we can go live with Matthew. Matthew, you're going to tell us where you would want to get married if money was no question, and why you want to get married there. I'm curious. Yo!
Hey!
Sorry to grab you while you're driving. Where are you going?
I am not driving. I am just cruising around right now.
Yeah. Where are you headed?
Passenger. I'm going to Casey's house.
Hi, Casey!
How's it going?
2 liters in one. Okay. 4 liters in one.
we're 4 or more gathered.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay. All 4 of you go around, pass around the phone. We'll start with Matthew, Casey, Jacob. We'll end with Sunshine. Sunny, I love you.
Love you too.
I want to know from all of you guys, okay, where is your dream wedding destination and why? Fill me in. Money's no option. God is your sugar daddy. Go.
Wow.
What?
Okay, come back to me.
Okay, so
no phone when you're driving.
I'm at a stoplight.
I'll hold
okay,
it for you.
Thank you. Okay, my dream wedding would be in the redwoods, you know, with some nice trees, maybe a little bit of mist, like, you know, like
Kind of Northern California.
Yeah. I've seen it on Pinterest. So
Stay in a yurt.
Just kidding. It's
but
not
yeah, so that's where I'm at. But yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Jacob, what you got?
So I would say my dream destination would have to be Chuck E. Cheese in Germany. You know, it's like a really great, nice.
Would
really
the
good-
service be in German or English?
I wasn't sure yet. You know,
Okay.
it's my wife's decision. That's
Okay,
all
there you
her.
go. Wow, so
you know,
kind.
Yeah. So it's really up to that. But
Beautiful.
Hi.
What's up?
I think mine would be maybe like underwater in the Gulf of Mexico with like scuba suits. We could like maybe afterwards the reception could be at like the lost city of Atlantis. Maybe if
How
we
would
work
you
hard
kiss
enough.
your bride?
Man, to death do us part. Am I right? And it won't be that long.
Shoot. Okay, hey,
Aw.
because you all are together for some reason,
Yes.
I'm going to make you guys do one thing. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay.
All of you have to sing a line from Waymaker together.
you
Go,
are
giveaway.
Wait.
moving in our midst.
Our words
worship you. I worship you.
You are here.
How many lines?
We can sing the whole song.
Oh!
Even when
I
I
was
don't
trying to
see
hear
it,
from
you're
Matthew. I
working.
can expect to get
Even
really
when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop. You never stop working. You never stop. You never stop working.
So good! Oh, I love it. That was awesome. Man, guys, virtual worship might work, dude.
Yes,
Dude, virtual
for
is so
sure.
I love it. Hey, it's great to see all of you. Stay safe. Put on a face mask on some part of your body. I love you guys.
That is just a mask.
Bye. Oh, looks like a party. I cannot wait to get back together with you all. I am alone in my room. Look, a lonely room. See, I'm on a little swivel so I can do this. But I cannot wait to be back together with you guys, hanging out, singing worship songs, being able to enjoy each other. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see if we can go live with Rachel. Rachel, let's see if she'll let us go live with us, and we'll ask her the same question. If money was no object, Rachel, where would you want to get married? Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
Great to see you.
Nice to you too.
Thank you. All right, where are you getting married? Money's no object.
Okay. Well, when he said Atlantis, I thought that was pretty cool. So maybe instead of I love the water, but he took my idea. So maybe instead we can go in the sky. You can get floating clouds
Stop.
and everything. And then there can be clouds. And it'll
Yeah. Okay, do you like riding in airplanes?
Yeah, because they give you those cups of apple juice.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I love riding in airplanes, right? I didn't ride in an airplane, though, until I was almost 19 years old. Can you believe that?
I can believe it, yeah.
How old were you for your first airplane ride? Do you remember? Hi, Anna. Hi, Colin.
Well, I was little, so it was my uncle and aunt's wedding in Texas, and I was 4, 5, 4.
Do you remember it?
There was a cow rug.
Oh,
That's all I remember.
shoot. Wow.
Yeah.
So you went for a wedding, and we're talking about your dream destination for a wedding, being on an airplane. What's up, Gabby? This is amazing. Carrie was 5 days old. I'm hoping not at your wedding, Carrie. I'm hoping more at your first airplane ride. Hey, so here's the ultimate question. Get married on an airplane or get married while skydiving?
Airplane. There's no way I'm skydiving.
Do you want to skydive ever? Have you ever thought about it?
No.
So I went skydiving with my in-laws. Scariest thing I've ever done in my life.
Ooh.
Everyone always asks me, would you do it again? And I probably say, I don't think so. So Colin Vecchio, this is surprising. Colin Vecchio, both of his parents were pilots. His dad, I think, Colin, your dad is still a pilot, right? And your mom used to be a pilot. So Colin's got a lot of hours logged. That's why he's saying he was 0 the first time he flew. Incredible. Rachel, it is great to see you. Thanks for hopping on with us.
Nice to see you too.
I hope you get married on an airplane, and I hope I'm invited. That would be really, really cool. I have never even heard of that. Riley's saying that she would want to get married while skydiving. Hey, if you're just joining us, I'm asking everyone, man, if you could get married anywhere, money's no option, God is your sugar daddy, where would you get married, right? So we got some fun answers. Jack Jellison said Iceland because he wants a volcano erupting behind him with the ice as he gets married. That's a little epic. A couple of our leaders, Sunshine, he said underwater, and then he would go to Atlantis. So if you're just joining us, that's why we're asking it. Why am I asking this? Well, because in John chapter 2, which is what we're reading tonight, Jesus is at a wedding. So I figured it would help us out. Let's see if we can go live with Anna, and we can see, Anna, where is your dream wedding destination? We are all dying to know. I'm assuming somewhere with leaves. Hey! Okay, so we are going to, I want to hear from each of you. Dream wedding destination. Money is no object. What you guys got?
I've always wanted to go to Thailand because I don't know, I just love everything about it. So in Thailand, on elephants.
Oh my goodness. Same elephant or different elephants?
Same elephant, but the person marrying us. Do you know what I mean? The person, they would be on another elephant.
That makes sense. 3 seems like a lot for elephants. They are huge, but it just seems a little crowded, you know? Oh, who's that? Who's that?
Let's say hi.
Hello, great to see you.
Oh, hello, good to see you too.
Thank you. We love you, Julie. Julie, if you had to do it all over again, money was no option, where would be your dream wedding destination?
Paris.
What? Why Paris? Have you ever been there?
Yes, I actually was last spring break.
That's awesome.
But my husband wouldn't choose that, so.
All right, hey, Blevins, how about you? Where would you choose?
I would. So I like the skydiving. I like the skydiving. So getting married in an airplane, and then like having like basically.
How is your mama gonna be there?
Being married in the airplane, and then skydiving out of the airplane into the wedding reception.
You stop. So would
that'd be
all
pretty
your
cool.
guests have to skydive out of the airplane to get to the reception?
Or they can choose seeing the wedding or being at the reception.
My grandparents went skydiving at like 72. They'll do
Okay,
it.
have either of you ever been skydiving?
No.
I
don't know. I'd like to though. Maybe on my 18th birthday.
It's terrible. It's so scary.
It's terrible.
So the worst part is that I had never been in a small airplane. And then I was second up. My first was my father-in-law. It's just like the movies do not describe what it's like. You sit there and then I'm watching my father-in-law in the airplane. All of a sudden, I don't blink, but he's gone. It's like I close my eyes. And, I mean, just you're moving so fast that you just get the moment you lean forward, you get ripped out of the airplane, dude. So it was the coolest experience. The guy I had, he asked me right before we go, I'm freaking out, hyperventilating, almost considering not doing it. And he goes, "Do you like doing flips?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Then let's do it." And we go into like front flip after front flip. So good. Rachel saying she would cry. Lindsay, that is so good. Lindsay is saying she would make the in-laws skydive.
Did your feet go all like?
That was so good. Hey, it is great to see you guys. Thank you for joining us.
It was good to see you too.
I love you guys.
Love you.
Bye. Man, we just keep getting lucky. We keep getting multiple leaders on one call. This is great. Yeah. I getting married while skydiving, that sounds a little epic. Man, could you imagine just watching your spouse just hoping their parachute opens, right? Oh, I love it. Hey, so again, why we're talking about weddings, you're like, dude, what are we doing here? Why we're talking about weddings and dream destinations where you could get married is because the story that we're going to be looking at comes from John chapter 2. In it, Jesus is actually at, drum roll please, a wedding. So that is why we have been talking about weddings tonight. I'm opening up my iPad. So throw up in the comments if you haven't already, or maybe if you already have, just to refresh it. Where is your dream wedding destination? If you could pick anywhere in the world, where would you want to go for your dream wedding destination? Money's no option. Everybody can go with you. Where would you want to go? I love what Sunshine had to say, underwater. Man, might be a little bit odd. For me, if I'm already married, right? Bing! It's like those little toy things with the parachute. Yes, so good. Hopefully it opens. Exactly. So I don't know. I was thinking about this all day. And Students of On Mission Meme says Chick-fil-A. So good. I think that might actually be possible. Colin Vecchio, you're saying Italy. I love that. I've been to Hawaii, which is kind of where I feel like most people would naturally choose, but apparently not. The baby goat. Yep, you're saying Hawaii. I've been there. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I'm not sure I want to be married there. I don't know why. It just seems too classic, I guess. For me, I think I would want to go to maybe like the Middle East. I don't know why. I just feel like, man, that could be so cool, like Morocco or something like that. Rachel says if her airplane wedding doesn't work, she's getting married with the penguins in Antarctica. Clarification, not to the penguins, with, like, among the penguins in Antarctica, right? Elijah Garman is saying knee-deep, crystal clear waters of Indonesia. Dang, yes, my man. That sounds epic. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we all kind of have dreams, right, about weddings. Even guys do. We have dreams about how our weddings will go. I got married, like I said earlier, at my in-laws' house. I know, sounds weird, right? My in-laws actually own a wedding event venue in Oxnard, and it's gorgeous. It's this gigantic barn on a, I think 3 or 4 acres. It's beautiful. They do weddings there all of the time. So it was awesome for me. I got to get married at my in-laws' place, and it's really cool because it was the place that London, my wife, grew up in, which is even cooler. And we got to get married in this giant barn. And fun fact, I actually wasn't wearing shoes. Neither was London or any of our bridal party. We just chose, let's just not wear shoes. Why not? So the whole night, none of us wore shoes. It was so much fun. Weddings are really important, right? In our culture, dude, even if you are a guest at a wedding, you get ready and you get excited and you get all dressed up and you can't wait for the night ahead and dancing and all of this fun stuff. Girls and guys both, if you are getting married, you expect everything to go right that day. Even if you aren't, you're light years away. You're like, dude, I don't even have a boyfriend. I am so far away from getting married. Still in your mind, you kind of expect that everything will go right that day, right? Like, man, in your mind, you just think like, okay, girls, the dress is going to look perfect. Guys, at least a haircut, right? You're like, I just want my hair to be cut for that day. Maybe you like, man, my shirt needs to be ironed. My tie needs to match my socks. The rings better be there, right? Your uncle, he better not get drunk. I don't want him here. I don't want them there, right? Like, that's what you're thinking. We want it to be the perfect day. So now imagine that on your wedding day, you also have the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to you in your entire life happen that day. Imagine that whatever happened to you on your wedding day, which is supposed to be the best part, like the best day of your life, right? That's kind of how we view weddings. Like, yeah, this is going to be the best day ever. Imagine that on your wedding day, something happened so bad, it was actually like shameful. Like one of the worst experiences that you have ever gone through. And it happens in front of all of your friends and all of your family, everyone that's important to you. Imagine it was something so bad that it made you move away from where you lived. And it made you never want to come back, never want to see your friends, your families, your aunts, your uncles, your mom, your dad. It made you never want to see them ever again. In John chapter 2, which is where we're going to be reading tonight, this is a picture of what I have just described. A wedding where something so shameful almost happens that these people, man, they wouldn't have been able to see their friends or family or relatives ever again. On their most important day, something horrible almost happened. See, in John chapter 1, God wraps himself up in flesh and blood and moves into the neighborhood. And his name is Jesus. And then in John chapter 2, we see that this God that enters into the world as an infant and then comes up in life for 30 years, hardly doing anything. The first thing that we see him doing in John chapter 2 is that Jesus is at a celebration. Jesus is at a wedding. We see him just doing the ordinary stuff of life, right? And every time I read John 2 and I read that Jesus was at this wedding, you know one of the questions I always have? I always wonder, was Jesus a good dancer? I have no idea why, but in my mind's eye, I see Jesus kind of dancing like Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? Like, maybe he's a good dancer, but you're also kind of like, oh man, dude, like, what are you doing, Jesus? I don't know why, but in my mind's eye, I always see Jesus as Carlton whenever I read John 2 at this wedding. But Jesus, he's at this wedding. And up until now, very few people actually know that Jesus is God. Very few people know that God is actually walking on the earth among them. I think that is so cool. Imagine you have God at one of your parties and you have no idea. Like, man, you don't know that God is there, but you're having a party, and just imagine that you are there and God is there as well, but you have no idea. That's the backdrop. That's what's happening in John chapter 2. What does it tell you about God that he was at a celebration? What does it tell you about God that he was at a party? To me, I think, man, that is just so cool. It tells me so much about God's heart for celebration, for partying. You know, one of the verses I love is it says, whenever somebody comes to faith in Jesus, when someone repents, meaning like changes their mind about what life is really about and begins to believe what Jesus has to say, the angels celebrate in heaven. They throw a party. God loves celebration. And in John chapter 2, it's this couple who's getting married. It is their like big day. See, Jewish weddings way back in Jesus's time, and sometimes even still today, are a huge deal. They are multiple days long. They're like this huge celebration. It's not just one day for like a couple hours. No, it's like several days. You are partying, celebrating the newlyweds. You get together for days and you eat and you hang out all day long. The expectation is that the people getting married, the bride, what's up, Riley? The bride and the groom are there, and then they are feeding you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They are constantly with you, and they are the ones that are providing for you while you celebrate. Like, it's like they are the ones taking care of you, kind of like your parents do right now, right? Imagine that if on your wedding day, people flew from all over the world. They traveled long distances because they wanted to celebrate you. Man, they have been like going without things. They've been saving money for months to be able to get to your wedding and celebrate. And they think that when they get there, you have told them, now when you get here, I'll take care of everything for you. I'll hook you up with housing. I'll hook you up with all your meals. I'll take care of your transportation. Everything that you need is going to be taken care of when you get here. Imagine that all of your guests, that was the expectation, because that is what the expectation was way back here in John chapter 2. Now, if you came to the wedding, all of the stuff that you needed while you were at the wedding was going to be taken care of for you by the bride and groom. You're going, man, that sounds awesome. And all the parents are going, nope, we aren't doing that. We'll maybe feed your friends if you get married, but nothing else, right? I love it. Now imagine that everything is just, what's up, Tyler? Everything is just kicking off. Like the wedding is just getting started. Everything is just getting so good and all your friends are having a great time, but it's day one out of maybe like a 4, 5, 6 day wedding celebration. And then someone comes up to you and they grab you and you're getting married. You're having a great time and they tell you, all the food's gone. All the food is gone. That's it, man. We completely ran out. It's day one. It's like hour 3. Everyone's just starting to have a good time. You just got married and all the food is gone. I know we need food for like 5, 4, 6 more days, but guess what, dude? It is completely and totally gone. Yeah, man, your family, they didn't order enough food for everyone because maybe they didn't have enough money, or maybe they're just cheap or pinching pennies, or maybe they didn't think all these different people would show up. But whatever the reason is, no one at the party who thinks that they're going to be eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner for free for days, they have no more money to spend on food because they spent everything to get to your wedding. Guess what? They're not eating, man. That's it. We're done. Food's done. We're gone. Could you imagine how horrible that would be if on your great day somebody tugs your shirt and tells you anything like this? Imagine how embarrassed you would be as you sit there thinking about this. You can't feed people who you promised you were going to take care of. Think about that. This is so much so what happened in John chapter 2. So much so. The wedding is just getting going. Everybody's having a great time. And then all of a sudden, they run completely out of wine. Nothing. No more. Nothing more to drink. And again, man, like this would have been shameful back in that day if you weren't able to take care of your guests' needs and you weren't able to provide for them. This would have been a shame on your family. And this is what happens in the story. This culture that Jesus lived in was what is called an honor-shame culture. Maybe you've heard about that as you've done history class in school. If not, Google honor shame. It's a lot different than our culture, I'll tell you what. In their culture, if you were shamed for something like what I've been describing right now, there are stories of men and women going and killing themselves because they felt so bad about what they did, and because they would actually be pushed out of their communities because they shamed their communities. That is crazy. And this is what's happening in this story. If something like this happened to you, you would lose all of the influence in your town. If it happened, you would have to switch schools, or you would have to switch jobs, and you would have to go to a completely different city. And maybe even then, the stories would still follow you about what you did at that other place. Maybe some of you guys have had an experience like that. I've had an experience like that. I switched schools because of some dumb stuff that I did when I was in high school. And yet those stories still followed me, and it felt terrible. Maybe you've lived a little bit like that. That's kind of like what's happening in this story. But you got to remember, Jesus is there at this wedding. So what does Jesus do? He sees and he hears about what's going on, and how does he respond? Jesus steps into the middle of this story. into the middle of the chaos, into the middle of the shame, into the middle of everyone feeling bad. And Jesus does his first public miracle. He turns a whole bunch of water into a whole bunch of wine. What does it mean to you? Think about this, man. What does it mean to you that Jesus' first public miracle is to keep a party going? What does that mean about who Jesus is? That this is the first thing he does publicly as a miracle. This is the start of his ministry. He turns water into wine. Jesus' first public miracle is to keep a party going. Who is this Jesus? Seriously. Jesus is not who you think he is. Guys, I can promise you that. Whatever you think about Jesus, even if you follow Jesus, he is not who you think he is. He's so much better. He's so much bigger and greater than who we think he is. I want you to know Jesus. I want you to know him better than you know your best friend. He's the most incredible thing that this world has ever seen. But you have to ask yourself, man, like, do you want to know him? Do you want to know the God of the universe who is at parties with people, who may or may not dance like Carlton, right? Whose first public miracle is to keep a party going. Do you want to know Jesus? These are questions we have to ask yourself. If you're thinking yes, or maybe, or I don't know, I have two things that I want you guys to do as a response. The first is just hop on our Zoom group in a little bit. In just a couple minutes, we're going to transition to Zoom. It's really easy. There's a link in the bio. Amen. Carrie says he cares about our details. I totally agree. God cares about the details of your life. There's a link in our bio to a Zoom group where we're going to do all of high school together, freshman, sophomore, middle school, freshman, sophomore, juniors, and seniors all together. We're going to play Pictionary. It was hilarious last night. Memes were created because Gabby Pito drew so bad last night, guys. You don't want to miss this. And then we're going to talk about this. Man, we're going to talk a little bit more about Jesus. And that may be the part that you don't want to do. You might want to join for games, but not for the Jesus side of things. And I got to tell you, try it. What is 1 hour of your life looking at the life of Jesus, right? You've already spent some of that here. What's a little bit more time looking at who Jesus is? If you gaze into the eyes of Jesus, I promise you, man, you will never want to look away from him ever again. He's incredible. The second thing that I want you to do, if you maybe want to explore a little bit more about who Jesus is, if you're just kind of looking around trying to get a feel for who he is join the Bible reading plan that we got going on. All you have to do is download the Bible app. You might already have it downloaded. Look for Hold Fast as a group, as a friend. Hit friend request on that. You'll see that we're reading through a Bible reading plan. Just read along with us. It's so easy. We've only read 2 chapters so far. It will maybe take you 15 minutes to get caught up and read those 2 chapters. Shoot. If you have a lot on your plate right now and you're going through a lot of schooling, don't even get caught up. Just hop in tomorrow morning with us, or tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow evening by reading John chapter 3. I promise you, if you spend a little time looking at the life of Jesus, he'll change your life forever. I promise. He did for me. He's done for all our leaders, and he will do it for you. Hey, I love you guys. Thanks for being with us tonight. Grace and peace. Go ahead and hop on over to our Zoom small groups. We can't wait to see you there. Let's see what horrible pictures Matthew or Gabby draws tonight. Whoever wins will be getting either Domino's or Chick-fil-A delivered to their front door. We love you guys. See you guys soon.